What's up YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. This is another Chet Talks Tech Talks. Yes, I'm back with another one, and this time it's all about camera equipment, and in this case the camera equipment that flies. Now I know a lot of you out there are trying to up your game in terms of storytelling, visuals, everything that is related to getting a good shot to tell a story. Now traditionally people do have great stabilizers for their DSLR cameras, for their digital, any type of digital filming equipment, where you're getting really good stable footage as you're moving along. But sometimes sitting in that single plane of view on ground level just isn't cutting the mustard, and that is where the good old and trusty drone comes into play. Now today I'm going to be reviewing the DJI Mini, yes Mini, Fly More Combo Kit. Now this is something which DJI provide as part of a bundle to give you more out of the DJI Mini. It comes with a bunch of accessories which I'm going to go through with you and show you exactly how they work and what they do and blah. Now before I get any further, I want you guys to know that there is a DJI Mini 2. Yes, I am aware, but the reason why I'm doing the review on this right now is because the price of the Mini has massively dropped and it's a great time to pick up this drone. So here it is guys, the DJI Mini. I have a little bit of a damage to my box because I fell down earlier and hurted myself. But yeah, this is the Fly More combo. Comes in the box exactly like this. You've got a little bit of a example of what you can find inside. You cannot find a smartphone in there, just letting you know. But you will find in here the cage, which is going to be protecting your propeller blades just in case you crash it. You're going to be finding the drone itself. You're going to be finding the controller. You will also find the battery charging kit along with 3 batteries, and finally a carry case. All of that is in here. Let's get right to it. And of course, in respect of professionalism, I've already pre-cut the plastic bits just to save you guys extra time, but I realize I've wasted that time telling you about that. So what we've got here guys is the DJI MAVIC Mini drone case with everything in there. We also have here another case. Let's put that box to the side. Now in here, doesn't sound like anything's in here. Have I been robbed? Ah, yes. The cage. Now DJI, I love this little plasticky casing thing. I don't know what it is. It's recycled stuff, but it's great. But in here, as you can see, let me just rip open one of these so I can show you guys. That's the cage. So this is exactly what the cage looks like. It's not going to focus. I will. That's what the cage is going to look like. So those essentially clip on to your propeller blades and they will sit on top. There are 2 of these cages in here. I'm not going to take them both out, but you know essentially what they're designed for. It does add to the weight of your drone, but does not affect the flying of it. Right, now down to the main event, the DJI MAVIC Mini. This is a great carry case. It's got a good amount of flex to it, but it's still quite stiff. So this is going to be something that's going to be really useful when you're traveling with the drone. It's nice, it's compact, it's got a little handle on there, so great to have when you're traveling. Now I'm just going to open this up. Nice zip, feels good. Oh, that didn't really work out. Now disclaimer, this is a used model, so this was not brand new, but it did already come with a few little extras in there, and I'm going to tell you exactly what those are. But first things first, let's see the drone. Tiny little thing here. This is only 249 grams, which means it is one of the very few drones out there, if not the only drone, that does not require a license to fly. Now, of course, don't quote me on that. Check your own local regulations and laws, etc. in your own country. But in certain countries, a drone that is below 250 grams, you do not require a license to fly, which is exactly why they made this little bad boy. Now the drone here, it is super light. I mean, I have to say it is a compact package. The blades, propeller blades, look good. They're a good construction. It is plastic. You can get carbon fiber ones for it, but you know, it's got that DJI MAVIC sort of look to it. So just to give you guys an overview of what I'm looking at here, in the front you've got the sort of cage for the gimbal or lens camera, just to protect that in there. Underneath you have the power button, which of course if you hold down will light up these LEDs, and that will show you that the device is on. Underneath here at the back, let me just show you, you have your USB port, you have a micro SD card slot for all the footage to be stored in there, and of course the battery goes right in there. And I've got a battery in there already, again because this is a used one, it came all pre-set up for me. But that is the drone itself. Now to see the drone in all of its glory, you want to flip out the legs. This one here will go like that, that one there goes like that. The bottom ones, they flip out. Yeah, don't try and pull them out that way, they flip out. And there you go, that's the drone. 2 legs at the front, no legs at the back, but when it lands, you can see it pretty much lands this on the ground, this on the ground, with a little 2 butts here on the ground. Sits nice and flat. I have to say, even in its fully expanded mode, it is a tiny drone. Look at that footprint, just to give you guys an idea of size. That is my hand on the drone. So you're pretty much talking the full hand span of an average man's hand, which is exactly the size of this drone. It's incredible. But moving on to the other stuff, let's have a look. Drone to the side. What we have in here, of course, is the controller. Now the controller is quite small, pretty light, and that's what you want out of a controller, because after you mount your phone onto it, you don't want to be carrying a lot of weight in your hand. But just to give you an overview, I've already pre-connected the cable. So there's a cable that goes from there through, and it comes out from the bottom there, which essentially connects to your phone. So if it's an iPhone, they've got an iPhone cable with it. If it's an Android, you've got an Android cable with it. But to show you how this all flips out, you've got the antenna, which flip out here. You want to fold them back like that. You've got also here the 2 legs essentially, which fold out, where your phone would clip in to the middle there. Now there's 2 bits here which are padded, which your phone can then be clamped onto. Underneath, inside, tucked away, all the way in there, you will find the little joysticks. These joysticks will screw exactly onto these little pads here. Now make sure you don't lose these. They do give you spare ones in the box, but there's a little carry hole in there for you so that you don't misplace them. They feel great in the hands. They've got a good sort of grippy texture to them. I don't know if you can see, but they've got a nice milled out sort of spiky, grippy texture, which I guess helps you in the long run when controlling the drone. Now in terms of buttons, etc., you do have the record button here, you have the snapshot or take picture button there. On the top you have the power button right there, and then finally you have the home button. Now that is all you need, because the rest of the controls will be on the DJI Fly app. Now I'll run through the app in a separate video, but that is essentially how the controller works, how it looks, how it feels. In my personal opinion, feels great. Now this is the charger for the batteries. In here you have 2 batteries already with a space for the third. The third is in the drone right now, but this has a really good construction to it. You've got indicator lights here telling you how much battery is actually in each battery. How much battery is in each battery? Batteryception. But yeah, they fit in really nice. They have a lock function as well, so you've got to press a little trigger to get them out. On the side here you have the charging port, you have another USB port just in case you want to use this as a battery pack. Yes, you can use this once the batteries are in there as a battery pack to charge whatever you want, smartphones, little bits, you know, if you want to charge up your GoPro, you can do that using this. So that's a really nice handy feature that they thought of. So I guess you just don't need to bring along your battery pack if you're not planning to use your drone that much. Each battery lasts half an hour. Half an hour is a great amount of time for you to get some essential footage. Obviously, if you're using your drone for really far shots, or you're going to be doing a lot of traveling with your drone, then maybe these 3 batteries will come into a lot of use for you. But that is the battery pack. Finally, you have all the cables that you will need to connect your phone to the controller and operate the drone. Now, as I mentioned, this is a used drone that I bought off eBay, and it did come with a few little extras that the previous owner had, and I just want to run you through that right now. So what it did come with is a set of ND filters. Now ND filters are great for when you're filming outdoors, especially when you're using a drone, because you're getting some very high contrast locations or landscapes that you might be filming when you're panning from the sky down to the ground or the other way around. It's nice to have a set of ND filters just in case you want to drop that amount of light coming into the sensor, so you can change up the settings on the app to make your footage look smoother and you don't have to play around too much in post-production. Now the ND filters that came with this drone are made by a company called Sunny Life. Now be careful about putting ND filters on drones, because the ND filter that you plug onto the front part of the sensor, or the camera should I say, it shouldn't play around too much with the weight, because at the end of the day this is a gimbal, it's a stabilizer, and it's been calibrated for the weight of this camera. If you put on an ND filter that is too heavy, it's going to mess up the calibration and it won't work properly. So go for a reputable brand. I know Polar Pro do some really good ND filters for these drones. They can be on a bit of the expensive side, so this is another recommended brand which does work and it doesn't mess up with the gimbal stabilization. Now as far as technical specifications go, the DJI MAVIC Mini comes quite packed and fully loaded with features that you wouldn't really expect from a small package like this. Now I just want to throw out some technical specifications of this drone just in case you guys are wondering. Max ascent speed of 4 meters per second, max descent speed of 3 meters per second, max speed near sea level with no wind 13 meters per second, so this thing is decently quick. Maximum flight time is 30 minutes, but with a Fly More combo with 3 batteries you're going to be 1 hour and 30 minutes. Now in terms of sensors, all it's got is the downward sensor, so in case you're wondering about backing into bushes or trees or anything like that, it doesn't have those sensors, so just be careful. Now in terms of the camera, this is where things get interesting. It is a 12 megapixel camera with a fixed aperture of 2.8, The ISO ratings that you're going to get out of this on auto are from 100 to 3200. The electronic shutter, you can go from 4 to 1/8000, so there's a lot of customizability there. Still images, you can do 4:3 ratio or 16:9, and of course you can also do time-lapse features on this, so you can choose anywhere between 2, 3, 5, 7, 10 seconds between shots. That can all be done through here as well. Video resolution, you're going to get 2.7K, so not quite a 4K drone yet, but more than enough resolution for the types of shots that you could probably be planning with a drone like this. Of course, you do also get full HD 1080p up to 60 frames per second, so great for those slow-mo aerial shots. The photo format is going to be JPEGs. You can't change that to RAW or anything like that, and same with the video, you're going to get MPEG 4. Again, you can't change that to any other format. Now I will be doing a follow-up video on this drone and how it flies and how it works and how I use it particularly. If you haven't seen my latest video, Cabin by the Lake, go watch that, because that's where I've used this drone to get some really cinematic footage and be able to showcase all of its abilities. But that pretty much wraps it up for my DJI MAVIC Mini review. This thing is great, and for a mini drone that can fit almost in your pocket, I have very little to complain about. I'm sure I'm gonna get some great shots out of this. If you guys, like always, have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And of course, if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. The support so far has been amazing. And I'm gonna leave it right there, guys. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.